Hello, dear learners. I welcome you all here in CEC UGC Gurukul Lectures. I am Dr. Pravita Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, Shri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. Today, I will discuss a special class of thermally and photochemically induced concerted reactions, that is pericyclic reactions. Concerted reaction means the reactions which completed in one steps. Learners, as we know, organic reactions are classified into three classes. First, polar reactions, radical reactions, and third one is pericyclic reactions, which we are going to discuss in this lecture today. Majority of organic reactions proceeds either by polar or radical pathways or radical mechanisms. In polar reactions or polar pathways, the nucleophile react with an electrophile and both the electron in new bond comes from nucleophile. Similarly, in radical reactions or in radical pathways, the new bond is formed by using both the electrons from both the reactants during the reactions, and the reaction is passed through the free radical initiators or free radical mechanisms. In pericyclic reactions, no intermediates formation takes place and molecular orbital involves during the reactions, and these molecular orbital overlap in a continuous cyclic manner. Pericyclic reactions are not only particular interest because of their stereoselective nature or because of their stereoselective course and their broad preparative significance in the chemistry of drugs and natural products, but also for their theoretical reasons. I have divided this lecture into 4 classes. In first part, we will discuss historical background of pericyclic reactions or what are the evolution theories of pericyclic reactions. In the second part, we will discuss how pericyclic reactions can be analyzed or how can we identify the pericyclic reactions, what are the approaches we will use during reactions, just like frontier molecular approach, orbital symmetry approach. So we have to discuss different types of approach which we will use to identify the pericyclic reactions. In third part, we will discuss mechanisms and stereochemistry of pericyclic reactions and also involvement of p-pi orbitals and mode of activations, that is the reaction is passed through thermal conditions or photochemical conditions. And fourth part, we will discuss one by one all the pericyclic reactions in details. Now we have to discuss evolution theories of pericyclic reactions and what are the historical backgrounds of pericyclic reactions. Learners, in 1916, Heuinger, he was a scientist, Egbert Heuinger from Netherlands, proposed an organic theory while he was working on vitamin D3. Organic theory was an idea how vitamin synthesized vitamin D3 synthesized in our body. So he had given idea how vitamin D3 synthesized in our body. So in PPT we can see vitamin D3. So here this is the structure of vitamin D3 in this slides. Vitamin D3 is synthesized in our body from 7-dehydrocholesterol, and this 7-dehydrocholesterol is a steroid, and also we can see here is a four-member ring which is presented by here A, B, C, D. So he is giving an idea about the organic approach, how vitamin D3 synthesized in our body. So this vitamin D3 is synthesized in our body from 7-dehydrocholesterol, which is a steroid and present in our epidermal layer of skin. This 7-dehydrocholesterol is also called provitamin D3 or sterol because it's having a OH group. In ring A we can see here this ring A is attached with a OH group. So due to presence of OH group, this dehydrocholesterol is also called sterols. So when this sterol absorb UV light, especially sunlight at 280 to 310 nanometer wavelengths of light. After absorption of photons from the light, opening of B rings takes place from the 7-dehydrocholesterol. So we can see here, after opening of the rings, we can see here, we can see triene, conjugated triene in the B ring. So from opening of the ring, this converted into conjugated triene, and this triene having 3 pi bonds and one CH3 group which is attached to the double bonded carbon atom at the one end of the ring. So you can see here in the structure in the 7-dehydrocholesterol, this is closed ring. When this 7-dehydrocholesterol absorb photon from the light, after absorption the opening of this B ring takes place, and now this B ring having triene, conjugated triene, and in this triene one carbon is having CH3 group at one end of this conjugated system. Opening of the ring followed by shifting of hydrogen atom from methyl group to other end of the triene or in conjugated system. So opening and shifting of hydrogen atom, or this is called 1,2 hydride shift within the molecules, takes place after absorption of photon or light. So Havinga just proposed organic theory how this vitamin D3 is synthesized in our body after absorption of light or photon from 7-dehydrocholesterol. So he was not having an idea about what the stereochemical changes takes place during the reactions or what is the reason behind this. This electrocyclic opening of ring B, two form triene and two sigmatropic reactions, rearrangement of hydrogen from one methyl group to other end of the conjugated triene system. Learners, this is important facts which I am telling you here. In recent studies, it's shown that sigmatropic rearrangements takes place slowly at body temperature, so the vitamin D3 can be synthesized in our skin as long as 3 days. After this organic theory given by Egbert Havinga, his colleagues J. Osterhoff modified his theory, his organic theories, and suggested concept of stereochemical changes during the opening and shifting of hydride group depends upon the reaction passed through the thermally or photochemically way, or it depends upon the modes of activations. Meanwhile, in 1962, Ronald Hoffman and Robert B. Woodward was an experimentalist and Ronald Hoffman was a theorist. They were working research on some steroid and vitamin B12 at Harvard University, and their observations arrived an idea that symmetry of molecular orbitals participate during the reactions and which determine whether the reaction is thermally or photochemically induced. And they proposed conservation of orbital symmetry in concerted reactions. So this is the theory. Conservation of orbital symmetry was given by Robert Woodward and Hoffman. So what does it means? Conservation of orbital theories. It means that molecular orbitals of static materials or the reactants must be transformed into molecular orbitals of the product in smooth and continuous way. And this is possible only when the orbitals have similar symmetry. So this is called conservation of orbital symmetry theory, which predicts symmetry allowed and symmetry forbidden reactions. Symmetry allowed means bonding orbitals having like phases of p orbitals in same side of the molecules. And symmetry forbidden means if there is an addition symmetry which is imposed any energetic barrier or high symmetry imposed barriers. So as symmetry barriers or symmetry forbidden reactions is that for which the concerted reactions mechanism is very difficult, and in that case reaction takes place in non-concerted mechanisms. So if there is an energy barrier, if there is a symmetry forbidden in the molecules, the reaction cannot proceed via concerted way. The reaction can be takes place through other mechanism, that is non-concerted ways. Now we can define what are pericyclic reactions. Peri means periphery or around. Cyclic means follow a circular path. So the pericyclic reactions are concerted reactions which follow the circular path in formation of a new product. And during the reaction, shifting of electrons, especially pi p orbitals electrons takes place, and the reaction can be intermolecular or intramolecular. If the reaction takes place within the molecule, it will called intramolecular, and if the reaction takes place with other molecules, it will called intermolecular pericyclic reactions. During the pericyclic reactions, p pi orbitals participate with sigma bond. In pericyclic reactions, electron recognition takes place in one steps via single cyclic conjugated transition state. The pericyclic reactions are highly stereoselective reactions, and the stereoselectivity of the reactions is based on reaction pathways or mode of activation, if the reaction is thermally or photochemically activated. In pericyclic reactions, no nucleophile or electrophile required. So here, because no transition states formation takes place here, no intermediates form here, just we get a cyclic transition states, and that's why the reaction is completed in one step. So in pericyclic reactions, no involvement of electrophile or nucleophiles takes place. These reactions are not affected by any catalyst or any types of solvents. Pericyclic reactions, most of the pericyclic reactions are in equilibrium process, and all the reactions follow the Woodward-Hoffmann rule of conservation of orbital symmetry. So we will discuss these rules in details in the next part of our lecture. Or we can say pericyclic reactions are orbital symmetry controlled reactions. Here, symmetry is influenced by heat or light. These are the influencing factor. So in pericyclic reactions, most influencing factors are whether the reaction is influenced by heat or light. The reaction takes place under which conditions? And the non-influencing factors are polar and non-polar solvents, because the reactions are not affected by, not required any type of solvent. Now, what are the criteria of pericyclic reactions? As I discussed here, first criteria for pericyclic reaction is mode of activation, that is thermal or photochemical. So this is very important criteria for pericyclic reactions. So pericyclic reactions only takes place on heating, or it's not required too much heat. So it takes place on thermal condition or photochemical conditions. And other criteria is in pericyclic reactions, number of p-pi orbitals participation, or 4n pi electron system or 4n plus 2 pi electron system. So we have to see here involvement of 4n and 4n plus 2 pi electron system. Third criteria is stereochemical outcomes, which is totally based on the mode of activation. So this is the theoretical involvement during the pericyclic reactions. So how pericyclic reaction is forbidden? If init orbital symmetry is not conserved. So main condition for the orbital is forbidden when symmetry is not conserved, that is, in which occupied orbitals of the reactants do not transform into occupied orbitals of the product with the same symmetry. When a reaction is forbidden in the concerted mode, it may take place via some non-concerted mechanisms. Now, what are the advantages of pericyclic reactions? In pericyclic reactions, generation of new carbon-carbon bond takes place, which is due to involvement of p pi electrons and sigma electrons. Because reaction is concerted reactions, or the reaction is passed through only one steps, reactions are very stereoselective reactions. Depends upon the reaction conditions, we get only one product. So due to stereoselective nature of the pericyclic reactions, during the reactions, less probability of formation of side products. This is very important. So here we will not get any side products. And enormous applications in biosynthesis. So we used pericyclic reactions in the biosynthesis formations. Because reactions are highly stereoselective in nature, so the products depends upon the configuration of the reactants, number of pi bonds present in the molecule, and mode of activations, conditions, whether the reaction is thermal or photochemical. So photochemical reactions is one that takes place in presence of light, and thermal conditions takes place without presence of lights, and during the thermal conditions that reaction do not require more heat. So on the conditions under which pericyclic reactions occurs and stereochemistry of product formed dependent upon the molecular orbital symmetry involved, and on the basis of involvement of molecular orbital symmetry, pericyclic reactions can be classified as electrocyclic reactions. These reactions are characterized by ring closure or ring opening, and this reaction takes place within the molecules, or we can say these reactions are intramolecular reactions. Second reactions, cycloaddition reactions. Cycloaddition reactions are major class of pericyclic reactions, which is characterized by two fragments coming together to form a new bonds. Example, Diels-Alder reactions. Third type of reaction, pericyclic reaction, is sigmatropic reactions. This reaction involves the movement of sigma bond from one place to other. So here shifting of groups takes place. So during sigmatropic reactions, 1,3 hydrogen shift, 1,3 carbon shift, or 3,3 shifting, 1,7 shiftings. So such type of shifting takes place within the molecules. Fourth type of pericyclic reactions, heliotropic reactions. Here two bonds are made and two bonds are broken at the same time. So the bond formation and the bond making breaking takes place simultaneously in the heliotype of reactions. Group transfer reactions. This group transfer reactions can be divided into two types: ene reactions and diotropic reactions. Ene reactions are also called Elder-Ene reactions, and these reactions are resemble to 1,5 sigmatropic rearrangement reactions. And other reaction is diotropic reactions. So in diotropic reactions, two sigma bonds simultaneously migrates. So in diotropic reactions, migration of two sigma bonds takes place in simultaneous way. So before describing each and every type of pericyclic reactions, we will understand what are the molecular orbital theory, what are the approaches to identify the pericyclic reactions, and what are the rules we will use during the identification of the pericyclic reactions. Just like Woodward-Hoffmann rules, what are the which type of rotation takes place during the shifting of groups or overlapping of that molecular orbitals. Just like in example, I can tell you in electrocyclic reactions, the reaction can be con rotation or disrotations. So these rotation totally dependent on or based on the molecular orbital theory. These theory is also called frontier orbital theory. Similarly, in sigmatropic reactions, we can see the rotation is suprafacial or antifacial. So all these things or all these concepts we will understand in our next part of the pericyclic reactions. So in this lecture, I have explained you what are the pericyclic reactions, what are the evolution theories of pericyclic reactions, what are the criteria to divide the pericyclic reactions, how many pericyclic reactions are divided. So we can see here five types of majorly five types of pericyclic reactions. So in the next part of this series, I will tell you orbital symmetry approach, frontier molecular orbital theories, and other important factors on which pericyclic reactions can be identified. Thank you.